human behavior untuk memiliki in having a new tolerance on transdisciplinary attitude. Apa itu artinya? Memang ada keterangan lebih lanjut, tapi itu setidak-tidaknya batasan dari New Sense of Ethics. Tadinya itu respect for person, beneficence, dan justice. 3. Berkembang menjadi 4. Respect for autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, dan justice. Nah, dengan the New Sense of Ethics ini, respect for others itu berarti respect pada antar orang dengan hewan, antar orang dengan tumbuh-tumbuhan maupun lingkungan. Ya, jadi dengan demikian respect for others itu ada artinya tersendiri, berkembang lagi. Beneficent, non-maleficent, yang kita tambahkan di situ adalah tidak hanya justice, tetapi it should be social justice for all. Itulah Pancasila.
Center for Bioethics and Medical Humanity atau CBMH merupakan bagian dari Fakultas Kedokteran, Kesehatan Masyarakat dan Keperawatan Universitas Gadjah Mada. Sebagai bagian dari perguruan tinggi ini, kami mengemban tanggung jawab untuk melaksanakan Tridharma perguruan tinggi. Kolaborasi nasional dan internasional merupakan kunci dalam melaksanakan Tridharma tersebut. Melalui kolaborasi ini pula, CBMH dapat bertransformasi menjadi sebuah pusat pengembangan ilmu bioetika dan humaniora kedokteran dan membidani lahirnya program Master Bioetika.
Manusia kini berada dalam era kemajuan teknologi dan ilmu kedokteran yang begitu pesat. Gelombang pandemi COVID-19, transformasi kesehatan digital, artificial intelligence, rekayasa genetik, hingga perubahan iklim adalah fenomena yang sedang kita jumpai saat ini dan masa depan. Kondisi tersebut memberikan pelajaran dan manfaat kepada manusia, sekaligus tantangan yang dapat mengancam keberlanjutan lingkungan hidup, otonomi, hingga keadilan sosial.
Seringkali kita tidak bisa menjawab atau tidak yakin dengan jawaban atas pertanyaan apa yang akan kita lakukan ketika dihadapkan pada dilema moral maupun dilema etik. Dilema moral maupun dilema etik adalah ketika kita dihadapkan pada pilihan, 2 atau 3 pilihan atau lebih pilihan yang sama-sama baik maupun sama-sama buruk. Dilema etik dan dilema moral ini selalu ada di dalam setiap ilmu maupun profesi. Hanya para profesional yang memahami ilmu bioetika inilah yang dapat menjawab pertanyaan tentang dilema etik dan moral yang baik.
Program Studi Magister Bioetika adalah program yang dirancang untuk membuka perspektif peserta didik untuk belajar tentang prinsip-prinsip etika dan menjawab dilema moral yang terjadi di era modern seperti saat ini. Ilmu bioetika dapat memberikan pandangan etis berdasarkan berbagai teori dan konsep yang dapat diimplementasikan untuk mencari solusi terbaik dari sebuah dilema etika dalam bidang kesehatan, pendidikan, riset, dan bahkan konteks sosial ekonomi yang lebih luas. Mahasiswa dibekali dengan pengetahuan mendalam mengenai pertimbangan moral dengan pendekatan multidisiplin dari berbagai keilmuan, seperti filosofi, ekonomi, sosial budaya, lingkungan, kedokteran, kesehatan, teknologi, hukum, dan profesionalisme.
Bioetika itu sebenarnya satu perkembangan dari berbagai ilmu. Di antaranya ada biologi, kedokteran, kesehatan, bioteknologi, humaniora, hukum, ekonomi, itu semuanya ada di sana. Jadi dengan demikian perkembangan bioetika ini mestinya etika kehidupan dari berbagai bidang, sehingga lulusan-lulusannya itu di dalam pendidikan tidak hanya pinter, terampil, tetapi juga etis. Kira-kira secara singkatnya tujuan utamanya adalah itu.
Mata kuliah yang ditawarkan kepada mahasiswa telah dimutakhirkan dengan memperhatikan kebutuhan mahasiswa, profesi, perkembangan pengetahuan, dan kemajuan zaman. Kurikulum pendidikan didesain untuk dapat memberikan pemahaman mendalam mengenai dasar-dasar etika dan bioetika, hak asasi manusia, kesehatan masyarakat, kebijakan, etika klinis, penerapan teknologi kedokteran, metode penelitian, dan isu-isu terbaru di bidang bioetika. Terdapat 3 jalur untuk mendaftar menjadi mahasiswa. Jalur pertama adalah jalur reguler, di mana mahasiswa melengkapi total 42 SKS selama 3-4 semester. Jalur kedua adalah jalur Master by Research, di mana perkuliahan berpusat pada kegiatan penelitian dengan total 40 SKS selama 3 semester. Jalur ketiga adalah jalur khusus HELP, yang diperuntukkan bagi alumni atau peserta kursus bioetika bersertifikat. Melalui jalur ini, mahasiswa dapat melakukan transfer kredit sebesar maksimal 12 SKS. Untuk menunjang perkuliahan, Prodi Bioetika menerapkan blended learning yang menggabungkan perkuliahan tatap muka dengan media pembelajaran berbasis IT. Selain itu, mahasiswa juga diberi kesempatan untuk melakukan kunjungan langsung ke fasilitas penunjang perkuliahan maupun terlibat dalam kegiatan penelitian dan pengabdian masyarakat. Peluang karir yang dapat digeluti antara lain pendidik, dosen, konsultan kebijakan publik di lembaga pemerintahan, jurnalis, konsultan kebijakan di perusahaan swasta maupun lembaga non-pemerintah, peneliti ahli bidang bioetika, konsultan etika di pelayanan publik, konsultan di komite etik rumah sakit atau penelitian, dan banyak lagi peluang karir lainnya.
Saya Dr. Sigit Kirana Lintang Bima, alumni program studi Magister Bioetika UGM angkatan pertama. Menurut saya, bioetika adalah ilmu yang penting dan unik. Kenapa unik? Karena bioetika ini selalu membuat kita berpikir, bukan hanya tentang mana yang benar dan salah, tetapi kenapa hal itu dilakukan. Jadi kita selalu diajari untuk berpikir kritis. Semua itu tidak akan bisa saya dapatkan tanpa disertai bimbingan dari dosen-dosen saya yang luar biasa di program studi Magister Bioetika. Bagi saya, yang terpenting adalah bahwa belajar bioetika itu tidak hanya menunjang pekerjaan saya sebagai dosen, tapi juga bermanfaat dalam kehidupan pribadi saya dan selalu berusaha untuk menjadikan saya menjadi manusia yang lebih baik. Terima kasih.
Bergabunglah bersama Prodi Bioetika untuk menjadi ahli bioetika yang mempunyai kepekaan sosial yang tinggi dan menjadi inspirasi bagi masyarakat.
So good afternoon, everybody, participants, and also welcome Prof. Chandramani from the International Medical Unit. Thank you for coming for today's afternoon webinar. So my name is Yayi Surya Prabandari. I'm a professor in the Department of Health, Behavior, Environment, and Social Medicine at the Faculty of Medicine, Public Health, and Nursing at University of Gadjah Mada. So, and I also one of the researcher in the Center of Bioethics and Medical Humanities, as well as we call as the coordinator of the quality assurance of the Bioethics study program, this master degree program at the School of Graduate School at the Gadjah Mada University. So first of all, thank you very much that you can share with us about primary care and leadership. And your title is Leadership as a Primary Care Physician. Yeah. And I would like also welcoming the participant today. Maybe they will join later, but at the moment we already have more than 20. So I hope that later we usually have like 40, 50 participants. Yeah. But Bapak Ibu and participants, I would like to introduce first our speakers today. So please, the committee could you please share the curriculum vitae of our guests today? So our guest, the first, is Professor Chandramani. She is a family physician and currently head of the Department of Family Medicine in the National Medical University. She holds a master's in health profession education from the IMU, and she is also fellow of both the Academy of Family Physicians of Malaysia and the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners. She has special interest in humanities and ethics as well as in professionalism. At the moment, she also the office of President of the Academy of Family Physicians of Malaysia from the term of 2021 to 22. She also actively involved in postgraduate activities of the Academy, where she is Program Director of the Advanced Training in Family Medicine Program. Prof. Chandramani also now is the Specialty Subcommittee for Education for Family Medicine in the Malaysian Medical Council and is a member of the National Patient Safety Council of Malaysia. She is also the Asia Pacific Regional Executive on the World Federation on the Family, WONCA, Working Party on Education. So at the moment, Prof. Chandra, so you will have 20 minutes, 25 minutes, for presenting your knowledge, your expertise, and the title of leadership as a primary care physician. So I give the screen and time for you, please.
Thank you. So I will share my screen.
Yeah. Yes, we already see your PPT. Yeah.
Okay. Just a minute. Yeah. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, and all your voice is already clear.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having a little bit of problem. Just give me a minute. Sorry, I'll have to stop share that. I'll have to stop share that and I will share again. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, just give me a minute. Yeah. Can you see now?
Yes.
You can see. All right.
Yes. Yeah, that's already the second slide.
Okay. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, so let me introduce myself first. I'll go back. Yeah.
So, Prof. Chandra, if there is a little bit difficult to share from there, so our staff here can also help.
Okay, yes, please. I think so.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Mbak Alifa mungkin bisa.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. So you just say next and next or something like
yes.
that.
Can we go to the first slide, please? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just a minute. Yeah, just go to the first slide. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, this is Kleru, Mbak. Sorry, this is by Dr. Sasikala, the other. I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, the agenda.
Yeah, yeah, this one. Slideshow, Mbak. Yes, please, Prof.
So,
Chandra. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I'll let you know when to go to the next slide.
Yes.
Right? So a very good afternoon to everyone. And my name is Chandramani, and I am a primary care physician. When I was asked to talk about this topic, I said to myself, I wasn't sure what I should talk about, which perspective of leadership I should talk about. And I believe we can be leaders in everything we do. And so I have chosen to speak about leadership as a primary care physician. Next slide, please. So what does leadership mean? It means setting a direction and motivating others to embrace it. Next. So how do we get to this point? Next, leadership is not a talent anyone is born with. Leadership is a skill one needs to first acquire and then hone further. Next. As a primary care physician, I realized that my job naturally put me in the front line, and more so during the COVID-19 pandemic. Next. Care at first level. Contact put me always in a customer-facing role, and this is not easy. Next, challenging environment. You need to show dedication despite difficult circumstances. Because you always have to be available and you always have to show up. And despite all this, as a leader, you are expected to display resilience. Next. In my role as a primary care physician, I had to always show competence, knowledge and skills, self-awareness, show patience, master my emotions, ensure patient safety in complex situations, and disclose and address errors. Next. As a primary care physician, people naturally had many expectations of me, and it was really a matter of expectations versus reality. Sometimes what we expect does not happen, as we all know, and some things are more easily said than done. For example, managing patients and putting them always first is not easy. But that is what I'm expected to do. And in doing so, I become a leader. Showing empathy and compassion, striving to improve the quality of care patients get. Leaders are advisors. Next. Leaders are advisors. And under the word advice, we talk about educating, counseling, motivating, and empowering patients. And all these words have different meanings. When we talk of patient education, it means giving patients the factual information relating to their problems. Counseling does more than just education. Counselors help clients identify goals and potential solutions to their problems. To motivate patients, we need to make them eager to embrace the changes that we are suggesting to them. And when we empower patients, we make them stronger and more confident, especially in controlling their problems. Next. Yes, a leader is also a mentor. To be a coach, you need to have an effective conversation with someone. You need to listen with understanding. And as a coach, you need to ask powerful questions while challenging and supporting your patient. And finally, you need to establish next steps for improvement. You need to show emotional intelligence, or EQ. You need to be a good role model, and you have to walk the talk. Next. A leader is a team member also, who takes responsibility, holds accountability, and who raises the bar. A leader needs to take initiatives. So what is an initiative? An initiative is a long-term and a complex undertaking that touches multiple teams and usually spans a considerable length of time. As a leader, you need to help to get goals for your patient. What is a goal? A goal is a specific focus and often simply describes the problem that you are trying to solve. As a leader, you have to give honest feedback to improve outcomes of our patients. And you need to collaborate across teams, interprofessionally. Overall, you need to have a positive influence on people. Displaying humility is not thinking of yourself as better than other people, despite all your achievements. Humility is greatness. So being a humane and humble person and giving respect to get respect is showing leadership. Spend time listening to others. Practice mindfulness and focus on the present. Be grateful for what you have. Ask for help when you need it, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Acknowledge others and seek feedback from others on a regular basis, even from people in subordinate positions to yourself. Always review your actions against the language of pride. And all this will make you stand out as a leader. Next. Experiencing the world around us with open eyes. Really understanding the complexities of the world, being compassionate and kind, helping others to grow and valuing the lives around you. And when you do all this, you grow in stature to become a leader. Knowing yourself, being open and honest about it, and how you impact others will help you maintain relationships and build trust. In other words, you need to objectively evaluate yourself and be able to manage yourself. Next. Ethical leadership. Ethical leaders have high standards for their team, and they set the same standards for themselves on a daily basis. Would they also do the job that they are asking someone to do for them? Yes. Would they hold equal respect for others and the team? And ethical leaders are honest and clear in their communication, and they do not keep people in the dark. Next. As a doctor, learning is lifelong, and good leaders are always learning, adapting to circumstances and furthering their learning in the process. They must learn new skills. They must adapt to digitalization, electronic medical records, and to telehealth. These are new ways of doing things in the 21st century and different from what it was done before. Next. Being a values-driven leader means you are characterized by commitment. Always seeking to improve yourself. Going beyond your job description is not an option, but a necessity as a leader. Always doing your best and saying there is no limit to what I can become. Next. I take this opportunity to share with you the core values of my university, the International Medical University, or IMU. Trustworthy. We are trustworthy and stand for integrity, reliability, and commitment. Responsive. We are responsive to change and people's needs. Unity. We are united to achieve a common goal. Service. We are committed to providing outstanding service. And tenacity. We are tenacious in the pursuit of knowledge. These core values surely point to leadership. Next, being a family physician taught me that I am no less a person than anyone else. Using such words like please, thank you, and I am sorry can actually make you more respected as a leader. Next, let us all become more humane and become better leaders. I would like to end on this note. You may be a doctor, a nurse, a physiotherapist, an engineer, or an accountant, but you can still be a leader every day in your own right. Next. Thank you.
So thank you, Prof. Chandra, for sharing with us about the leadership that needed for the physician, that you already mentioned that as a leader, you can be as advisor, mentors, and as well as a team member. And then thank you for sharing the principle of the International Medical University with trustworthy, responsive, unity, and then serving and also tenacity. So thank you very much. But before we open the discussion, if you don't mind, I would like to invite Dr. Sakila for presenting Sasikala, sorry, I'm sorry, the leadership learning leadership during community engagement activities. But before I give the time, I would like to introduce Dr. Sasikala Devi Amirtalingam. Please, Mbak Afifah So, participants, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our second speaker. Dr. Sasikala is a senior lecturer at the Department of Family Medicine at the International Medical University, Malaysia. She is a fellow of the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners since 2011 and fellow of the Academy of Family Physician Malaysia since April 2019. Dr. Sasikala is also the Quality Improvement Program Chairperson for the Academy of Family Physician Malaysia since April 2021 and as examiner since 2020. Dr. Sasikala is also a member of the Malaysian Diabetic Educator Society and the Association of Integrative Medicine of Malaysia. Welcome, Dr. Sasikala, and thank you very much for joining and will give your expertise and sharing for our audience in Indonesia. So I will give you as same as Dr. Prof. Chandra, 20 minutes, if you don't mind. So the screen and the time is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yayi Prabandari. So just a little bit about myself. I'm a family medicine specialist here in International Medical University. And what I'm going to share is actually something that me and my students have done together. So let me share screen now.
Yeah, please.
I hope you can see my shared screen.
Yeah. We already seen, but not yet the slideshow.
No?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much. So in this PowerPoint presentation, there is a video embedded which was prepared by my student, Ms. Harkiranjit Kaur Gill. And it is about our community services project, community engagement project, and how that has actually taught us leadership. So I was their supervisor, and therefore I had to be the silent leader in the background while my students actually led the project. I hope later you'll be able to see the video and hear it well. So now I'll proceed. So my topic is actually leadership and learning leadership during community engagement activities. So IMU is very big on actually learning, the students learning in community engagement activities through the IMU CARES programs. So what do we mean by leadership? So actually leadership is actually not about titles or positions or flowcharts. It is actually mainly about one life influencing another. So leadership is a process of influencing others to understand and agree about what needs to be done and how to do it, and facilitating individual and collective efforts to accomplish shared objectives. So a lot of it is about working together as a team and actually respecting each other and in the team and using each other's strengths. And this is so important when we translate it down to healthcare. Leadership is an important function of management and helps to maximize efficiency and to achieve organizational goals. And again, translated down to healthcare, to actually look after our patients' outcomes and patient safety. So leadership in healthcare, effective leadership is a valued component of healthcare education, increasingly recognized as essential to the delivery of high standards of education, research, and clinical practice. Effective clinical leadership ensures a high-quality healthcare system that consistently provides safe and efficient patient care. Therefore, it is really important that we incorporate leadership training and development into our health professional curriculum. There is a new kind of leader emerging now in this modern era. He is one or she is one who role models the balance between autonomy and accountability, emphasizes teamwork, and focuses on improving patient outcomes. So the evolution of leadership from the past to current. Previously, leadership was always called management. They provide technical expertise and direction. They are the planners, they are the directors, and they are the controllers. Now, in the current situation, it is beyond the executive to the visionary. So they shape a clear purpose for the team, and it resonates with the whole team. They are beyond the planner to the architect, and they innovate the business systems or the healthcare systems to create new levels of value. Beyond director to catalyst, or they become change agents. They engage people to collaborate in open, empowered networks. Everyone is empowered. Everyone has a voice. Beyond controller to coach, they enable the organization to evolve through rapid learning, and they enable their team members to build new mindsets, knowledge, and skills and come together. And it is actually beyond being a boss to being a human and part of the team, so that it shows up as one's whole authentic self. So I'll just talk about two different kinds of leadership here, which I think can be seen in this community engagement project with Kampung Sabir. One is transformational leadership, which is a kind of leadership, a relationship between the leader and the follower in which they motivate each other to higher levels. So this was seen because the group was actually all in the same semester and they knew each other well. So there was already an established relationship of trust amongst this committee for Kampung Sabir. So these leaders are regarded as change agents who use their qualities and personalities to motivate their team to achieve their goals, to share their visions, and to empower them. So here Kiran was the team leader, and she knew her team members very well, and she was able to actually use that trust to motivate the whole team. Participative leadership or collaborative leadership style. So here the team members participate in the decision-making process, making them feel more engaged in the management process and to goals, and motivated to work efficiently. So I actually saw that the team worked very well together because, again, they knew each other, they trusted each other, and they respected each other. So a little bit about this community engagement project in Kampung Sabir. So Kampung Sabir is actually an Aboriginal village in the outskirts of Seremban town where IMU Clinical Campus is. There's a population of 200 residents and they're from the Temuan tribe. So IMU students and staff have been conducting regular healthcare and education activities in the village since 2015 as part of the student learning and faculty learning from the community engagement. And this is an IMU CARES project. So in these visits to the kampung or to the village, the students actually inculcate the soft skills of teamwork, leadership, communication skills, and social responsibility as part of their learning. So this
Hello
is the
everyone,
video.
my name is Kiran and I'm a fourth year medical student here in IMU. Today, I would like to share with you some valuable insights I have gained as the project leader of the Kampung Sabir Healthcare Project over the last 1 year. Leading this initiative was a journey of self-discovery, learning, and growth, which has significantly shaped my perspective on leadership. At the beginning of this journey, I wasn't sure if being a leader was for me, and I certainly had my doubts. However, this project allowed me to challenge myself in ways I had never experienced before. I learned that no one is perfectly suited for leadership. It's a role that we learn and we grow into. I had to learn the nitty-gritty details in handling paperwork and how to create a proposal for each visit. I had to familiarize myself with the task list, ensuring I didn't miss out on anything, such as getting the projectors from IT, the IMU CARES banner from FMA, and the IMU CARES t-shirts for the volunteers, among many others. Leading the team taught me the importance of effective communication and collaboration. In the context of our project, communication was crucial not only within our team, but also with the village head, other student-led societies in IMU, and external collaborators such as Alpro Pharmacy. Thankfully, I also discovered that leadership does not require you to be loud or constantly assertive. I realized that it is completely okay to be yourself while still embodying qualities like empathy, responsibility, and being ethical. Leadership is about adapting to different situations and learning how to lead in a way that resonates with your true self. Juggling leadership responsibilities with academic and external commitments was a significant challenge. Being someone who loves to partake in many different activities, this was an essential learning curve for me. Navigating my role as a competitive netball player and someone who thoroughly enjoys staying updated with the latest movies and entertainment options in town was a challenge for sure. However, this project was my baby, and it demanded my undivided attention, and I had to learn how to allocate my time wisely to ensure its success. One of the most important lessons I learned is the power of empathy in leadership. As a leader, I aimed to create an environment where every team member felt valued and heard. Not every member was free to attend each and every visit, and I had to respect that and learn to navigate with those who attended. Not to mention, one of our team members was a semester ahead than the rest of us, and she was significantly busier as she was preparing for her semester 9 professional exams. I had to communicate with her and inform her on what to do when she wasn't around. This is just an example among many other instances. The skills that I have developed as a leader, particularly effective communication and empathy, are directly applicable to patient-centered care in medicine. Just as I learned to understand the perspectives of my team members, I'll be able to better understand the concerns, fears, and needs of my patients. Leading a team often involves making important decisions under pressure. This experience will serve me well in medical situations where quick and critical decisions are necessary. The ability to analyze options, consider potential outcomes, and make informed choices is a vital skill for any physician, especially in emergency situations. A significant part of leadership is advocating for a cause and educating others. In medicine, I can use the skills to advocate for my patients' best interest and ensure they understand their medical conditions, treatment options, and preventive measures. This empowers patients to make informed decisions about their health and actively participate in their care. In conclusion, my role as the project leader taught me that leadership is not confined to a single set of characteristics. It's about embracing challenges, fostering collaborations, being authentic, prioritizing effectively, showing empathy, and continuously learning. These lessons have not only shaped my leadership style, but will shape me into a compassionate, loving, and all-rounded doctor. Remember, leadership is a journey, and each experience contributes to your growth as a leader. Helen Keller once said, "Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much." Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.
So that is the short video on all our Kampung Sebir activities. And you can see Kiran there with the rest of the committee, and including the volunteers who all on that day had little roles and actually had to lead their little projects, and the children and the village participants. So what are the lessons that we learned? So a little bit about the committee itself. The committee members were the chairperson, secretary, external liaisons, internal liaisons, the person in charge of medication and patient records. So before the event, they have to plan the event, they have to liaise with the village head, they will call the volunteers for the event and then take stock of the medication. During the event, they actually have to manage the participants and volunteers and ensure a smooth run of health education and health services activities. And after the event, the team would actually finalize the documentation, check patient records and medication stock, and submit the report to the IMU Community Engagement Office. So the lessons that we learn on leadership here, as you have heard in the video from Kiran as well, is of course having good communication skills. If you are unable to communicate with the team, then it is very difficult to lead the team. Another very important part about communication is actually the listening skills. We have to listen. We have to listen to our team so that we can understand and we can lead. And we can also collaborate with our team members. A leader also has to be delegating tasks and responsibilities. They cannot take on everything. They have to delegate to their team member as well. It is important to be transparent as a leader so that the team understands where they're going. And it is important to create a collaborative environment, a safe environment, and a trustworthy environment. Teamwork, of course, is important. Being empathetic is very important. A leader has to have confidence in themselves so that they can actually give that confidence to the team as well. And they have to firmly believe in their vision, develop mutual trust relationships, and also be very open to feedback. So development of leadership skills is an ongoing journey that begins with knowing and understanding oneself. Effective leadership is integral to quality healthcare. Uncoordinated care will result in poor patient care. So this is something that they learned during their time in this Kampung Sabir project, because they had to make sure that everything was coordinated well. The team had to work together and Kiran had to lead that. Adaptable leaders will be able to navigate stressful situations, but also lead others through it and find solutions for the future. And innovative leaders who can proactively identify problems and find solutions are very important in our healthcare, especially we can see that in the pandemic. So just to summarize, key healthcare leadership skills. One is strong communication, emotional intelligence, problem-solving skills, managing time properly, and being very flexible and adaptable. Qualities of a healthcare leader, they should be able to show humility, they should have vision, they should be able to act as a mentor, both to the younger peers and as well as to their patients, because in shared decision-making, we are in a way mentors, and we should be able to help our patients to reach decisions. A healthcare leader or a leader has to demonstrate integrity to create a situation of trust, and a leader should be collaborative. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the video as well.
So thank you, Dr. Sasikala Devi, for your sharing, and I also explain about the engagement of community during the clinical practice, yeah, with your and then video that showing the experience of Harki Ranjit, your student, yeah, when she led the team go to the Kampung Sabir, yeah, for doing some actually this is combined, yeah, clinical and community work as a medical student. So thank you very much. So now we are going to the discussion session for both of you, Prof. Chandra and Dr. Sasikala. For the participants who would like to ask questions or clarification, please, you can raise your hand or write to the chat box. Is anybody? We now already more than 40.
Maybe I would just try to add in a little bit here that today both Dr. Sasikala and myself came, decided to do this talk on leadership because we want to share how faculty can show leadership in our roles, day-to-day roles as doctors, as well as getting out the students that we teach to also hone in these skills as leaders. So not only we grow as leaders, but we make sure that the students that we deal with also grow as leaders.
So, Bapak Ibu, ada yang mau bertanya? I ask with bahasa, sorry. So I can also help to translate if you want.
Yes, I think there is somebody who wants to ask a question. Gunardi.
Yeah, please directly open your.
Thank you for the valuable presentation. Well, from your both presentation, I'm sorry that as far as I remember, I didn't find a value of justice and fairness. Well, in any community, and if you want to sustain community, then I think justice.
Makan kalau belum makan atau sudah makan? Sorry.
Sorry. In order to sustain any kind of community, actually, justice and fairness has to be firmly maintained in the community. So, is there any reason that in your concept of leadership, justice and fairness is not is positioned as not so particular, not so important? That's just my simple question. Thank you, Prof.
Yeah, thank you, Pak Gunardi. This goes to Prof. Chandra or Dr. Sasikala, or both of them.
Dr. Sasikala community, yeah.
Okay, so please, Dr. Sasikala, this question is for you.
Okay, so Dr. Gunardi, fairness and justice is inevitably there. I think when we work with the community, we must always remember to be fair and make sure that whatever we do is is just. So we have to have respect for the community. We have to actually see how we can take it forward. So IMU has worked with this particular community since 2015, and the community actually knows us quite well and is quite engaging with us. What exactly do you mean by the fairness and justice?
Well, I think in order to sustain or maintain a community, any kind of community, actually, right, we have a respect, of course, because we also position others as having autonomy, right? But after that, I think that justice and fairness, for example, in treating many people, different people, right? So we have to make it firmly established and also respected by all parties in the community, right?
Yeah.
So that's why that if it is also not even mentioned in Prof. Chandra presentation, so that's why that actually I also want to hear something.
So I think because the fairness and justice has to be there as a ground rule.
Okay.
When the students go into the community, they have to be fair, they have to be just to the people, and part of it is like showing respect, trying to understand the community, being culturally sensitive, and normally we liaise with the community to see what their needs are. So I guess it was not mentioned so highlighted because I think that is actually like the ground rule. you have to be that, you know.
Okay,
But
that's
I think that
implicit,
is a
right?
good point, and I think we
Yeah,
should make sure that we ensure that it is clearly mentioned as well. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much.
Thank
much,
you.
Prof. Gunadi, for bringing that up, because justice and fairness is integral in leadership. And I think there is no leadership without justice and fairness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So is there anybody would like to add or to clarify?
So I would like to ask if all the participants are from various healthcare professionals, or from
Yeah, please. Yeah.
all healthcare professionals, or from various
Oh, for various background, I think. Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, you can be a leader in any profession. You know, in your day-to-day work as a leader, you can be a leader in your own profession, and you don't have to actually look out for it. You can, you know, actually work on it every day in the little things that you do.
Yeah, a few of actually are our students at the graduate program on bioethics.
Yeah, and I think Dr. Sasikala has shown you the leadership in students, where the students actually took on the whole program by themselves and led the whole program. So it was a sort of student-led program. So as a student, you can start with your leadership right there, and grow it into something much more. So whatever you may be, even if you are a housewife, I believe you have leadership skills. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Yeah. So, Bapak Ibu, is there any clarifying something? You need clarify something. So, maybe if not yet, I would like to ask for Dr. Sasikala. So, your program, the engagement of the community, it is in the level of clinical rotation or in the undergrad, and how long they stay there? It's 2 weeks that I heard, but yeah.
No, this
Could you please,
actually, so I'll just explain. So this community engagement projects are actually something IMU does in the undergraduate program, and those postgraduate students who want to get involved can get involved. But in the undergraduate program, it is a very essential part about learning in the community for all programs in IMU. So they have these IMU care projects, which are usually faculty-led, and the students then will run the projects by themselves. So they will identify a community, and then they will liaise with the community and have projects that it can be 1 year long, 3 years long, or even going on for 5 years. So in IMU Clinical School, we have Kampung Sabir and Kampung Tekir, which are our Orang Asli Kampungs, and they have been with us since 2015, so almost like 8 years. And it is an ongoing relationship with the villagers.
Okay.
So that means the time period that the students are with is actually anyone can volunteer. The committee members usually are for 1 year, so they rotate every year.
Okay, so this can be there are a few of health program that can be held there and continuing by the next students like that. Yeah. Okay.
And they actually have an education branch and a health branch.
Okay. Yeah. So we actually in the Faculty of Medicine of Gadjah Mada University, we also have what we call is Desa Binaan. So it is like village that we working for a certain period. Yeah. But at the moment, because we have a 3 study program, medicine and then nursing and as well as nutrition. So one team that consisted of the students from medicine and then from nursing, then from nutrition, they work with the community, but not actually they work with family in a certain community as a group, but each students will work with a family. So one family, one students for the time that they learn in the undergraduate education. So they will learn about know about the family, then the risk factor of the family, then they have to have the special program together with another team in that community. Yeah, so yeah, it's more or less, yeah, they have to have a special program too with other teams in one community in the third year. Actually, the first and the second year they have to know the family. Okay, so Bapak Ibu, is there anybody would like to have discussion? Yeah, not only, I think not only questions, yeah, but maybe you can also share about how the leadership this one is can be touched. Yes, please. Yeah, please.
Yeah. Do you have any experience exposing student before and compared to after clinical setting?
Can you repeat that, please?
Prof Yati, ya.
Do you have experience?
Do you send them before or after being exposed to the clinical setting, the student?
Yes, I think we do expose them in the preclinical setting as well as in the post-clinical setting as well, in the clinical setting. So
Okay.
there are teams that go out
Okay.
in the preclinical setting, and there are teams that go out in the clinical. So they have a very early exposure to the clinical setting, to real patients, and that is very
early
important.
exposure.
Yes, in IMU, we really want students to actually experience experiential learning for the students early in the medical program.
Okay.
And I think it's
Do you find,
across all schools, health professional schools. Yeah.
do you find any differentiate between those who have been exposed in the clinical setting compared to those who have not been exposed to the clinical settings when they are sent to the community?
Yes, of course. There is a definite difference. Students who have actually been exposed during the preclinical years were a little bit were not as familiar with the patients as they were in the clinical years. So we've seen that they've actually, it's been a learning curve for them, and they know how to socialize better with the patients as they get exposed. So the more exposure that they have, the better they get. And that's what we want, socialization in the community, because finally it's a community that they're going to work with.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Yati. Yeah. Yes.
If I may add a little,
Yes.
the activities are also catered to the year of the student. So like in preclinical school, the activities may not be so highly clinically orientated. They may just do like some BP screening or something, and maybe other activities. Whereas in the clinical years, they would, be engaging more in actually looking at the patient's health and trying to treat them for minor ailments. But there is always a doctor there with them. One of the faculty will be there with them to supervise and guide.
And maybe I would like to add on to what Dr. Sasi said, that in IMU, we do a lot of interprofessional work. So we usually, the teams are comprised of faculty and students from different disciplines. So, and from different disciplines and different schools, so that there is actually a sharing of knowledge, and that's important.
Okay, thank you. Mbak Vika, do you want to ask something?
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Yai. I apologize, it is not really stable connection, hence I cannot open my camera.
It's all right.
Thank,
Yeah.
yes. So thank you for the inspiring talk, both from our speakers. And I'm not sure if I would like to ask question, but I would like to just appreciate how your talk highlights the importance of leadership as a skills, as a need for every medical practitioners, and how it's important, yet it's very challenging in how we actually design and deliver that education among the already saturated medical curriculum. And I do agree that the experience is mostly important when they are already in interaction with the community, because then it gives them the actual exposure and experience. But it's also always become a question in my personal observation about how do we prepare them ahead of time, especially during their first years when they are still in the classroom, about that concept of leadership, and with the context that they are really still very young and inexperienced, because they just transition from high school students and then they're entering the college. But then we have to start them early to know the importance of building that skill leadership, but yet they haven't got the chance to be exposed to the community. So I personally feel like we have tried with setting up the lectures and topics and discussions in the classroom, somehow provides them with early exposure, but I'm not sure if that's quite enough, or any other strategies that can be used within that limited context, with the already saturated medical curriculum, the hours, the limited time, the limited opportunity in their early years. But then if we don't start early, most commonly it's going to be a bit too late, or maybe it's going to be like considered a shock for them when they are interacting with the community then, because then they don't have enough preparation during their undergraduate. I don't know if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if that's a question, but I think it's just like more like trying to relate the situation that I feel like maybe it's a common challenge. I'm not sure. Maybe in the IMU you have had your strategy in balancing with that.
Thank you for that, Hartanti. I was just, I'll take you up on two things. One is the already very challenging medical curriculum. Yes, it is very challenging, but what we do here in IMU is we usually go out in the weekends. It's a day out on the weekend, so it's a sort of a relaxation for the student. Students are actually very thrilled. They have special T-shirts for that, and they can come in their jeans and feel free instead of the usual attire to classes. And so it's a kind of a relaxation for them, and they actually look forward to it. And the other question about and so it's sort of it's a good way to balance life and work and the relaxation. And the other point that I would like to elaborate on is the early exposure. So yes, you're right that you can't get that done in a classroom. Leadership cannot be taught. It is something that they've got to experience. They've got to actually work on it, and they have to actually hone their skills in leadership. So you're not born with that talent, and the best way would be actually to expose them, and we expose them early. Right from the beginning, they have the opportunity. They can go out with so the teams do not comprise only the first year students, but they are across the school. So they may sometimes be be accompanied by more senior students, and actually then they learn. So it is a very enriching experience for them because they're going out with seniors, they learn things, they learn how to socialize, and it's really, they look forward to this. So we usually have a long list of people who sign up for these visits, excursions to the community, and usually we have to cap it at a comfortable number. Yeah, thank you.
Excuse me.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Prof. Yes, I agree that early exposure is a must, and again, it's another challenge with the huge number of students in our medical schools. Like one batch is comprised only medical students, like around 250. So it's like we do have this program for interprofessional education in the community. They are already exposed since their first semester. Gradually, like every end of the month, they got a chance to meet other students, other study program, nursing program, dietitian program. And so they work on something together, and then they go out to the community. So like they do gradually. Yes. Yeah, but still, it's interesting to see. And I do hope like we can learn a lot more, also finding better strategies to be creative. So while they're in the classroom, like other than exposing them to the concepts, like other things that we can do, even though it's minimum, but like we try to be more quite creative. So then it helps them transition better when they are dealing with the community.
That's right.
Thank you so much for your experience sharing. Yes.
I think Prof Yati would like to ask or add something. Monggo, Prof.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, almost similar to the question raised just recently. So that, is there any opportunity for the medical student being exposed to the community in a team with other professions before they enter the clinical setting?
Yes, we do have that. And there are teams going out almost every week, different teams with different agendas. We have them going out to the old folks home. We have them going out to the indigenous community, various communities, intellectually challenged. So it's a lot of exposure there, very enriching experiences. And we have almost every week, I can say. And it also happens in the preclinical phase as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Prof. Chandra. Dr. Sasi, would you like to add something?
Just to add on to the activities, even in preclinical school, because there are so many programs there in our Bukit Jalil campus, each program actually has activities. And like Prof. Chandra said just now, to the old folks home, the intellectually challenged, the hearing impaired. And there is not just one old folks home, but many. So the activities are there almost every week for the students to go, and it's different groups of students who will go together. It's just to add on to that, or to confirm that. Thank you.
Okay. Oh yeah, monggo Pusasi. Sorry.
Can you differentiate sending them to the community before and after being exposed in the clinical setting? So when they are still in the very first years, and then compared to when they're already being exposed in the clinical setting.
I think, thank you for that question. I think that would be a very good research study to do, to compare their experiential learning, preclinical and clinical. It would be a really good study to do. We have not embarked on it yet. I don't think there are any studies like that out in the community, of their engagement in the community, but that would be a good study to take on.
Thank you so
for
much.
that. Thank you for the suggestion.
Can I extend my question?
Yes.
Well,
Please,
okay.
Pak Gunardi.
So,
Yeah.
well, extending the discussion, can you identify how many percentage? Because as we know that in any kind of profession, there are two important things that sharpening competency or building competency, and also building moral commitment. Okay, so while leadership is belonging to growing moral commitment, right? So if we want to identify the percentage of in the curriculum courses that can be addressed to the building moral commitment, like leadership, as compared to the belonging to the sharpening of growing competency. Can you mention how many percentages if we compare both of them? That is perhaps important for us to perhaps to study on that. Thank you.
I don't have the figures now, but it is actually, it is not compulsory to engage in any community work, but most often, almost every student is engaged in the community work voluntarily. So a lot of volunteerism goes on in the university from the students, led by faculty, and almost every faculty is also engaged in the community. So I think if you're talking about voluntarism, that's part of leadership as well. So I could say it's definitely there, but to tell you exactly how much and what percentage, no, not at this moment. Thank you.
Well, because in the democratic modern world right now, I think moral commitment is more important than competency, right? So that's why that I asked this issue.
Yes, but it would mean going out of the university, and that is a little bit difficult because, like was just mentioned, it's a very intensive program, and so there's really not much time except for in the weekends. So if they go out into the community, then it's a whole one day of the weekend that's already lost. So usually we keep it to a weekend, and I could say it's a significant part in their training.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I also would like to share that the program that we are having with the team of the student from medical faculty, medical program, and then nursing and nutrition, they also on the weekend. And the community that they serve is just very close to the university in the same district.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also try to keep them as close as possible, but sometimes that's not very possible. So as close as we can get, so that for logistic purposes, students' time is preserved and their well-being is also preserved. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Agree. So, Bapak Ibu, we still have 10 minutes from the 2:30 p.m. So if you would like to add or you would like to discuss about the leadership for the physician, and as well as how to engage in the community with the medical education program. So
yeah.
Please.
Yeah, I would like to
yes, please
add on. Yeah. We have time, so we can have a very lively discussion about how the community, Dr. Sasikala's community participants, actually then, they also look up to the students as their leaders. And that gives them a lot of empowerment The students are actually empowered. Some of them actually address them as doctors, although they are not yet doctors. So it helps in their, professional identity formation. And I think that's very important in the health professionals for this professional identity formation, where they're only students, but in the eyes of the community, they refer to them as doctors, and that's important for them. Yeah.
Yeah, learn to be professional, even to, this is professional as medical students, but later on they will learn about professionalism and leadership when they are practice as a doctor.
Yeah, and when the student and they give them so much of respect, the community, because the students also then realize that to get respect they have to go down to the level of the community, and that is so important, because we know that to get respect you need to give respect. And I think in this 21st century that's so very important, because our young students have to remember that it's not easy to get respect from people. Yeah.
Yes, they closer with their gadget than the person. Yeah, so this one that we should highlight our student here. Yeah, we should always remind them about the respect. Yeah, respect to others. Yeah, and then
we have students also go out with gadgets, because you brought up the word gadgets. Go out to the communities, share stories with young children in the communities, draw for them, paint for them, teach them how to speak English. Yes, all that is done. And I think Dr. Sashikala maybe can elaborate more on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Please,
So-
Dr. Sasi. Yeah.
Yeah, so for our Kampong Survey, for instance, I'll take that example. So we actually have a health arm and an education arm. So the video I showed you is actually the committee from the health arm. So the education arm actually goes in also during the weekends, and they teach English and maths to the children. So they do workbooks with them, they do coloring with them, and how do they also see whether they have succeeded in improving the education level is, they give them little tests and all that. So there is a lot of engagement as well, and there are outcomes that they want to measure to see whether they have actually made an impact in the community.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, monggo, Bu Erlin. Yeah, now.
I ask question.
Yes,
Sorry,
please.
yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies to off cam, as I think it is not possible for me to on cam. Yeah, my question is about community engagement, and it seems to me that it will be easy for community to respect medical students and to respect doctor. But my question is that how to make to shape the attitude or the knowledge of the potential doctor, or the students, the medical student, to respect the community. I think that's also our homework in the Center for Bioethics and also in medical faculty in general, to shape this attitude and knowledge for the medical student. That's my question, Prof. Yayi. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. So, Prof. Chandra or Dr. Sasi would like to respond?
Yes.
So I think, Chandra,
Go on, Sashi. Yeah.
Okay, so I think that getting the respect from the student to the community, I think that's again one of the ground rules when the students come into IMU. There is that part of our core, that trust thing is also the unity and trust, and establishing that kind of respect towards the community that we work with. And that's one of the core things about this IMU CARES project, is to make the students more culturally sensitive, to let them know the community better, and also know that we are not different. We just just we're not really different essentially. There may be slight differences in rituals or behaviors, but essentially we are all the same. And therefore, to actually successfully treat your patients, since this is a health professional college, you have to earn their respect. You have to respect them so that they will in turn respect and trust you. So that is actually one of the core things that this IMU CARES project actually inculcates in all our students. And my observation, looking at my students, actually I find it very amazing that how very nicely they actually engage with the community. They are very comfortable carrying the children around. They talk to the old people. They don't seem to differentiate during the time when they are in the project. That's what I have to share.
Yeah, I think I would like to just emphasize there that the question that was posed on whether how we can whether students actually learn to respect community as community respects students. I think yes, very much yes. Both ways, it works both ways, because as we know, they won't get any respect if they don't go down to the level of the community. So they are there on their knees, actually, tending to the children, sweeping the floors of the community hall, going from house to house, interviewing patients in the villages, eating with the patients, sitting side by side. So I think all that helps them to socialize with people of all categories and all races. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I wonder, may I comment on this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
go Prof. Yati.
I wonder, yeah, I wonder whether, I don't have any study, but I wonder whether sending students as early as possible in the community, and not as a medical student, but as a team member of the group of students. So heterogeneous students,
yes,
from various of them.
Yes.
So that they don't come as a medical doctor, I am a doctor, but they come to the community as a person, as a human being, and similar with other in a teamwork, because they cannot work alone. Thank you. I don't have any study, but I believe that this must be helpful. Thank you. Because sorry to say, some doctor or medical student, they think they are higher than other professions. This must be avoided as early as possible. They cannot work with other team, with a team. Thank you very much.
I agree with you. And in our university, the teams are actually open to any school. So we have nurses, we have dentists, we have doctors, we have biomedicine, we have nursing.
Yeah. Even yes, even lay person or
yes, academic staff,
religions.
Yes. And even academic staff,
yeah,
drivers, clerks, managers, anyone. Yeah.
Thank you.
We have actually made community engagement a part of the university's KPIs. So everybody is in there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank.
Do you want to add something, Prof. Yati, or that's enough?
No. I just sometimes worry that, sorry to say, that medical students think that they are the highest. This is a very bad attitude. So that's why on purpose we have to design in such way that the medical student from the very beginning don't think that they are super. This is actually the fact. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Do you want to add something? Because we just close to the end of the seminar. Yeah, actually I would like to add, but at the Gadjah Mada University, we have a community service is obligatory for compulsory for the students that they can one group, not only the health sciences students, but they are together with other students.
Yes.
And now we already working on almost all provinces in Indonesia. So for example, my son also working in the Papua Island. Yeah. So the student can choose where they are going for the community service. So they are together medical students and then health sciences students. Okay. So thank you very much, Prof.
Dr.
Chandra
Yani.
and Dr. Sasi. Ya, sudah harus selesai Bu Yati. Gimana?
Nggak apa-apa, cuma sebentar saja.
Yes, she would
So
like to add.
think later to think about whether this will be much better than exposing medical students themselves. So my suggestion, because you have the experience, to compare it, to study between those who are exposed from the very beginning in the community together with other professions, compared to the other program which they send medical student very, what they say, exclusively. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So Prof. Yati, she is our senior pediatrician, Prof. Chandra and Dr. Sasi. She suggested that if you have other school maybe, that sending their medical students in the early for engaged in the community. So it's better that you have studied to compare that the students who are exposed earlier in the community compared to the students that maybe the exposure to the community is a little bit late. So
And a teamwork.
In a teamwork. Yeah.
Thank you, Bu
So
Yani.
this is the suggestion.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Yati. So Prof. Chandra and Dr. Sasi, this is our what do you call it? Our habit. Yeah. For the end of the webinar, we usually ask about the closing statement. Do you have closing statement regarding leadership and regarding the leadership that or the education that engage the students with the community? Please, maybe from Prof. Chandra first, and then Dr. Sasi.
Well, I'd like to end on this same note that I added on, that as a leader, you need to respect people of all ages and all kinds. And in order to earn it, you must give it. And that's where your leadership starts. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Chandra. So highlight respect. Yeah. And then Dr. Sasi, please.
And then just maybe to add on, the new leaders are probably not managers, but they are actually part of the team. And in some ways, they are like the servants of the team, but they are the ones who will inculcate collaboration and motivate the team to move forward.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So first, before you are leaving, we would like to take picture. That's virtual picture. So komite Mbak Awiwah, tolong Mbak Livia.
Yes, Bapak Ibu, untuk mengambil foto bersama, kami persilahkan untuk menyalakan kameranya terlebih dahulu, nggih. Please, ladies and gentlemen, the participant to turn on your camera.
Turn on, sorry.
Turn on undi toh.
Ya, sudah kelihatan, Bu.
Oh, udah. Cantik.
Belum cantik soalnya separuh.
Oke. Sudah.
Yeah, so Prof. Chandra, this is Prof. Yati.
Thank you very much, Prof. Chandra.
Thank you. Yeah.
Prof. Saska, Prof.
Yes.
Yayi. Bye.
Hitung, Mbak.
Kalau sudah menyalakan semuanya, akan saya hitung. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Okay, once more. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much,
Bye.
Prof. Chandra and Dr. Sasi, for your time and also your sharing, the sharing of your expertise and your experience in International Medical University. So, thank you, and
Thank
we
you.
would like to see you in the future.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank
and from
you,
our
Prof.
part,
Yayi.
from IMU, we are very happy to
Prof.
have
Yayi.
collaboration with the Universitas Gadjah Mada, and we would like to have more of these meetings together. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I value
Yeah.
all your questions and your input, and I think they will, we will take your recommendations on a few things that were highlighted. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so
So, thank
much.
you
Thank
for
you
all
very much.
participants. Ya,
Thank
sampai
you, Bu
jumpa minggu
Yayi.
mendatang. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Terima kasih.
Ya, terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Prof. Chandra, Prof.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Ya. Oke.
Prof. Yayi.
Prof. Yati, bye-bye. So, this is our topic next week. Bapak Ibu, terima kasih atas kehadirannya. Yang
See you
belum absen, see you next week. Terima kasih semuanya. Sehat selalu.
Oke.
Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sehat, salam
Waalaikumsalam.
sejahtera. Saya pamit.
Monggo, derakan. Bye-bye. Kangen lu. Miss you.